I'm okay. Me and my dogs can just stay here. Okay. I think I might cook them a turkey breast. They probably like that. I'll be all right with that. They're probably going to be quiet tonight. Yeah, I can see them because the yard men were here today blowing the leaves because the leaves were so deep. You couldn't tell where you were walking, and the little dogs are only like, what, 6 inches tall. They get lost out there. So I told Marcus, my yard man, I said, I'm desperate. You have got to come do this. So, of course, they're in the backyard, and the dogs are up at the window. So they're probably tired. Yeah. We probably won't hear from them tonight, but where? Anyway, they're in the other room. Okay, anybody have any specific questions you want to ask about anything, or I'll start talking about the test, about the final. Okay, get your pencil out. I'm going to tell you something. Let's start with conceptual questions. They're 25, 1 point each. 5 of them come from exam 1. 5 of them come from exam 2. 5 of them come from exam 3. 5 come from chapter 16, and 5 come from chapter 17. Now, what that means, those coming from exam 1, 2, and 3, you can go back and look at exam 1, 2, and 3. Y'all all know how to do that? Click on the little arrow by your grade and you can view your attempt. Yeah, you can go back and look at it. Okay, let's talk about the problems. 25 problems, 3 points each. 6 of them come from exam 1. 7 of them come from exam 2. 7 come from exam 3. 2 come from chapter 16, which I'm going to talk about that. And 3 come from chapter 17, and I'm going to talk about those. Because we hadn't talked about them, and you hadn't seen much about those. So that means you can go back and look at those 3 exams and go through it. I mean, there it is. Okay, the final counts 30%. You can elect for it to replace your lowest test grade and count 50%, but you have to tell me that before you take the test. Yeah, because it's going to tell you your grade the minute you finish. The minute you hit submit, you're going to know your grade. Well, at that point, I could figure out whether you want to replace your grade or not. Duh. So you have to show some faith here. You have to tell me in advance if you want to do it. Fair enough? Okay, let me talk about conceptual questions on chapter 16. Chapter 16 has to do with venture capital, best efforts, private placement, underwriting, that kind of thing. So that's what the questions have to do with. Chapter 17 has to do with mutual funds. So it talks about net asset value, ETFs, opened-end versus closed-end mutual funds, that sort of question. And there's not that, well, there's 5 of them. There's not that many. So let me pull up. Let me share my screen. I think I want that right there. This thing is never where I want it. And you can't make it. Well, I can get it down there. Well, down there's okay. Okay, this is chapter 16. These were the problems at the end. And they are good represented. An investment bank pays $33.50 per share for 4 million shares of GM, firm commitment offering. It then can sell those shares to the public for $32. How much money does GM receive? And what's the profit to the bank? And what's the stock price at the end? The key is it's a firm commitment. They paid $33.50. They sold all 4 million. They only got $32 for them. So GM got the whole amount because it was a firm commitment. The bank lost $6 million. Now this one is, I had to actually type these things in there. And I don't always get all the letters in. Okay, this is a best efforts. 10 million shares. They're able to sell 8.4 million for 27 a share, and it charges the company 0.675 per share sold. Okay, best efforts. Let me get it up here. 10 million, they only sold that many, they charge that much. So the company receives 27 times the 8.4 million, but they actually pay the fee. So they only receive $221,130. The investment bank makes money no matter what, because they get the fee no matter what. And let me just go over here and look. Yep, those look a lot like the problems. I thought so. Because there's not that much in. Move you out of the way. Go to chapter 17. Go. Get over here. Okay, let me move this thing again. Okay. Mutual funds. An investor purchases a mutual fund for $50. The fund pays dividends of $1.50, capital gain of $2, and charges a fee of $2 when the fund is sold 1 year later for $52.50. Net rate of return. Okay. They sell it for $52.50. They bought it for $50. They got a $1.50 dividend, $2 capital gains, but they paid $2 to sell it. So net return was $4, which is an 8% return. So I mean, that's not shabby. Number 3 here is kind of a long problem. And the ones on the test are not quite this long, but since it's here, this was some of the homework. This was what I would have gone over had we been live in class. So I'm going to go on and do it. Mutual fund has 300 shares of General Electric trading at $30, 400 of Microsoft trading at $54, 1,000 shares outstanding. Okay, what's the net asset value? Well, it's 300 times 30 plus 400 times 54, $30,600, and divide that by 1,000 shares. If investors expect the price of General Electric to increase to 34 and the price of Microsoft to decline to 48 by the end of the year, what's the expected net asset value? You just do the same thing again, 29.40. I like this one's the best one. Assume the price of General Electric shares is realized at 34. What's the maximum price to which Microsoft can decline and still maintain the net asset value from A, which was, back up there, $30.60. Well, whoops, sorry, I scrolled past it. Okay, that's the new GE value. The remaining, what you need to get to the 30,600 is 2,400. So Microsoft can go down to that 2,400 divided by 400. Now, these are two that I couldn't find a good example for them, but we need to go over them. You have $10,000 to invest in Fund Y. Fund has a front-end load of 3% and an annual expense fee of 2% of the ending asset value over the year. You believe the fund's gross rate of return will be 6%. If you make the investment, what should your investment be worth in 1 year? Okay, to start off with, you've got to pay the front-end load. So you're already down to $9,700. You think you're going to get a 6% return, okay, $10,282. But you have to pay the 2% fee on that. So it should be worth $10,281.02. This one is also with a load. You wish to invest $16,000 in a mutual fund with a net asset value of $20. The fund charges a front-end load of 3.25%. How many shares can you buy? Well, you take the $16,000 and take off the 3.25, and then divide the result by $20. You can buy 774 shares. Those aren't too bad, are they? That wasn't bad. I'm assuming that tonight you'll probably be going back through exam 1, 2, and 3. If you have questions, I am right here. So just email me and ask me. Otherwise, I'll answer any questions you've got, but I think I've given you the best hints I can. I've told you where they're coming from. When I'm saying they come from exam 1 and 2, I mean they come from exam 1 and 2. Yeah. So that's your best review right there. And you can go in there. If you do go into your test and go down and there's one you missed and you don't understand why, then email me and let me help you with it. Y'all ready? Can I answer anything? Can I go over anything else?
The test is going to be available from 11:59 to 11:59, right?
Well, actually 12 a.m. 12.
Okay.
It opens at 12 a.m. tonight and closes at 11:59 tomorrow night. You have 3 hours. You can have your formula sheet, of course. You can use your calculator. You can have scratch paper. whatever. And Shara, I saw you're signed up for 431. Was checking it today. This should be interesting. Cases. Well, we finished out spring that way, so I guess we can do it. We'll figure it out.
Is there, like, what time do we have to tell you whether we want to replace the grade or not?
Just tell me before you take the test.
Just any time before we actually take it?
Because I can see the time you took the test.
Okay.
If I could figure out how to go in there and keep you from seeing your score right away, I'll go look at it. Because I never do that. I always let you see the score right away. It might be an option that I could say you couldn't see your grade until after the due time, like after 11:59 tomorrow night, which I'd really kind of like, because that would let you see how you feel about the test. Normally in class, that's what I would do. You would pick on the paper what you wanted. Let me go check on that, because I'll need to send an email to everybody to remind them anyway. As soon as we get off, I'll go to my regular computer where the dogs are. Oh Lord, I don't see them. The fireplace here is double-sided, so I can see through to the other room. I don't see them, but they're not making noise. That could be like dogs and small children. When they're quiet, you should probably go find out what's going on. No, I don't see either one of them. Okay, let me check on that. Otherwise, just before you take it, but I'd really prefer that you got to take it and then say, yeah, I feel good about this. I want to replace that low grade, or let's just go with the 30%. Yeah. I'd rather do it that way. I'll go check on it and find out as fast as I can and put an email, because I'll put this out because I want everybody to see those problems for 16 and 17. Since you didn't have a test on that, you really don't have anything. And those ones that were extra for 17, I really couldn't find anything good on that I liked. So I made them up.
So you will be posting this recording?
Yes, I will.
Great.
It'll be in about, I'm going to say that I usually get the email that it's available in like 30 minutes. Because normally when we're in school, by the time I drive home, I've got it. It's in my email. I pull it into Camtasia, edit out the beginning, and make it an MP4 file and post it out there. So it'll be out there within an hour for sure. Will that work? Questions? Everybody do good on this. This is right at the end. Yeah. Have you got more exams this week? Oh, I'm sorry.
I got 5.
Oh God. 5.
Between now and Saturday at noon.
Ooh. You took a heavy load.
Yeah.
5 classes, that's a lot.
I've had to do that every single semester to graduate in May, so
Yeah.
it's been a lot.
And we might actually have commencement. They have 2 scheduled, one for the 2020 graduates and one for 2021. I hope we get to do it.
Me too.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, good for you. I hope you're doing good in all of them. I suspect you might be, but that's pretty heavy. I had a guy in my 331 who had registered for 6 classes and was working. I said, you might want to talk to Candace about this. I mean, that's a lot. And it was his first semester at Ole Miss. Yeah. I've said everything I need to. Yeah. Bless his heart. Was optimistic, but I mean, 18 hours is a lot when you're a full-time student with no other stresses around you. That's a lot. 12 or 15 is kind of a normal load. So 18 was a lot. Okay. Anything else I can answer for anybody? I will be happy to. Any questions? I'm going to be in the other room right there in front of the computer. So if you have anything, email me. And I plan to be home all day tomorrow. Here's a note. Because this keeps happening to people. You click on the test and Proctorio asks for a passcode. Reinstall Proctorio. Because Proctorio sets the passcode. I don't have it. And typically, you just need to reinstall it and then it's okay. Or restart your browser, do something, just refresh or something. But I don't have it. Yeah. I need to remember to put that in the email. Because every test I get at least one email saying, but you didn't give us a passcode. And yeah, I know. You're right, I didn't. Okay, y'all do good. It opens in about 4 hours, a little less than 4 hours. I will go check on that right now and see if I can change it. Okay. Okay, everybody do good. And I will post this.
Thank you.
Nothing else? Okie doke. In the